The competition is fierce for healthcare practice owners, and standing out is more crucial than ever. But here's the question: how do you stand out amongst a crowd and attract these high-paying patients every single day? Well, hang about, I'm going to show you how. In the next 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can make your practice as visible as the morning sun all over the interwebs. And if you stay until the end, I've got a special gift for you. It's going to make everything that we talk about today 100,000 times easier. Now, all throughout this video, I'll be referring to the word omnipresence over and over. Now, what does omnipresence mean? Well, quite simply, it's about being everywhere, all at once. It's putting you and your practice and your message in front of as many of the right people as possible on as many of the right platforms as possible. It's like casting this giant yet targeted net across the sea of potential patients and pulling them towards your practice. And it's a net that you definitely want to cast because over 44% of all internet users search for healthcare practices on their mobile device. Imagine a patient constantly coming across your valuable content, whether it's through a blog or a post or a video. Over time, your practice becomes familiar, even preferred in their eyes. With every piece of content that hits the mark, you're not just another practice or professional in the long list of options, you transform into the go-to authority. People start to recognize you, setting you miles apart from your competitors who aren't as omnipresent as you are. But that begs this question: why is omnipresence so darn difficult for healthcare practice owners? Well, the truth is, it's actually not. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how simple it can be. But there are a few challenges that you do face as a practice owner. Let's check them out. First of all, with the number of practices just growing all the time, getting noticed by new patients, more competitive than ever, let's be honest. It's like shouting across a crowded room, trying to make your voice heard above everybody else's. Shouting louder isn't going to help. If a practice doesn't pop up in their audience's search or isn't present in their social media feed, it may as well not even exist. Now, even if a practice does show up online, standing out in a sea of sameness, that's another hurdle. Most practice owners, their websites, their social media pages, they all look and sound the same. And that makes it tough for potential patients to tell them apart, let alone remember anyone in particular and to choose them as their go-to. And that brings me to challenge number 2 with a lack of omnipresence. Now, all the practices look alike in the eyes of potential patients, but this is because their marketing strategies are all too similar, or they fail to engage their audience in the right way. Your audience is browsing online or looking at ads, they're going to see the same messages, the same types of images, the same types of promises. It all becomes a blur. There's nothing that makes any single practice jump off the page or screen and go, hey, I'm different, I'm here for you. There's nothing that really connects with the audience, and it becomes a commodity. It's a major issue because if a practice owner doesn't stand out, it doesn't get noticed, and if it doesn't get noticed, it doesn't get new patients, make no bank. It's the same as not being online at all, to be honest. And that brings me to problem number 3. What ends up happening is practice owners turn to paid advertising, rightly so actually. Practices end up spending a huge chunk of their budget on marketing, trying to cut through this noise and just bully themselves through to the market. Now, paid ads can be super effective, I love them, but if they're not done well, the return on investment, not gonna be there. But listen, if you can overcome these challenges like I want you to, omnipresence, it is the game changer for your practice. It'll definitely give you a competitive, in fact, I believe, unfair advantage. When your practice shows up everywhere, it opens up the opportunity to bump your practice's messages or advice or content in front of the people that really matter, that want to work with you. The second benefit is this: people start to recognize your name, your practice's name, your logo, your brand, and they start to love the helpful tips that you share. Now, this familiarity, it breeds trust. Trust then turns into action, and then finally, when someone needs your services, your practice is number 1 in front of their mind. The audience picks up the phone, or they drop an email, or they walk through your doors. That means more appointments, more patients to care for, and a busier, more vibrant practice. But most importantly, number 3, this is what my clients get. They love this. More than just being visible, builds your authority. By sharing valuable content that's literally everywhere, you become the expert, the authority in the field that stands above everyone else. When people think of the service you offer, they think of you first. They think of you as having all the solutions. This authority converts into trust, which in turn converts into more patients choosing your practice over others. Your practice doesn't just grow in size, it grows in stature and reputation as well. And when you apply omnipresence properly, your paid advertising is going to be way more effective too. This is because your marketing efforts are more targeted, they're more strategic. You're not just reaching more people, you're reaching more of the right people. These are the individuals who are actually interested in what you and your practice have to offer. They're far more likely to book an appointment, to walk through your doors, and to become an actual paying patient and a raving fan because they love your content. So listen, let's check out 3 ways for you and your practice to become more omnipresent right away. Number 1, engaging content. Standing out is not just about showcasing your services. Nobody cares. Maybe your mum. It's about connecting deeply with your audience's core needs and emotions. This connection starts with creating engaging content that speaks directly to what your audience cares about the most. Their health concerns, their fears, their desires, their wants, their aspirations, and the solutions they want. Before creating your content, a deep dive into understanding your audience is crucial. This means knowing the emotional triggers driving their decisions. Are they looking for quick relief or long-term wellness? Or maybe a bit of a combination of both? Or maybe they're looking for something else entirely. Understand their world, get inside their head. Knowing this allows you to tailor your message directly to what matters most for them. Along with the content, the presentation of this matters a lot. Too much technical jargon is going to bore your audience's face off. But if your content is heavy on your personal thoughts like mine is, it might lack some of the helpful tips the audience is looking for, but heck, they really understand through your stories and analogies what's going to resonate with them. Then you make sure that every piece of content leads the audience towards a very clear, logical next step. Whether that's booking an appointment, downloading a guide, or simply following your practice on social media, giving you a like, whatever it happens to be, your content needs to make that next step super easy and simple to understand. Tip number 2, use Facebook Live video. Facebook's a huge platform where your patients they're hanging out. I'm telling you, they're on Facebook and they're on Insta. And one of the most effective ways to engage people on Facebook is with live. It's not just a broadcast, it's an invitation to engage in real time. This immediacy creates this really unique connection between you and your potential patients. It's like having a 2-way conversation rather than a one-sided monologue. Regularly scheduled live sessions amplifies your visibility massively. Now, Facebook obviously favors these live sessions. They put them more on your audience's news feeds. So when you do go live, it's important that you give your audience value. You can do this by talking about common health concerns, debunking myths, or sharing tips. Give your viewers really valuable information that can improve their health and their lives. This value builds credibility, trust, and authority, and over time, viewers come to see your practice not just as a business, but as a really valuable healthcare resource. They see you as the authority. When the need for healthcare services arises, you stand out as the obvious top choice, as the leader in your field. Tip number 3, retargeting. Now imagine someone visits your website, but they leave without an appointment. It's like they walked into your clinic. They had a look around and boom, they're out the door. They might not ever come back. In fact, I doubt they will. And they'll never be able to reach you ever again. You won't be able to get in touch with them. It's a lost opportunity, yeah? So with retargeting though, we can counter this. You get a second chance. Retargeting is like a digital boomerang. You throw your message out into the world and retargeting brings it back to the eyes of people who have already shown an interest in what you do. You've already seen this in action yourself. I mean, have you visited a website or clicked on something on Meta and then that same website keeps popping up again on your news feed and you keep seeing content from them again? Hopefully you've seen that from me, from yours truly. That's retargeting in action. And you should do the same because it keeps you top of mind. Even after someone visits your site, consumes your content, there's a high chance they're going to forget about you, and retargeting keeps you front and center. So when they're ready to make a decision, you're there. Your name comes to mind. The more someone sees you in your practice, the more trust is built. Trust translates into action. By constantly appearing in their digital space, in their sphere, you're not just a random choice, you're their preferred choice. You're the safe choice. This familiarity breeds conversion. Each ad view increases the likelihood that they're going to pick you over someone else they've barely heard of. Retargeting also makes your ad way more effective. Your ads end up reaching only those who have shown interest in you, making sure your budget of your marketing works smarter and not harder. Now, we've covered a lot of ground inside this training, and it might seem a little bit daunting, especially if you like me, you're not the technical type. I'm a total technophobe. That's why I put together a guide. It's called How to Become Omnipresent in Your Marketing to Attract High-Paying Patients Every Single Day. It's a step-by-step guide, super practical. It's got action plans, copy and paste templates. You can use these today to make sure that you become more omnipresent. It's super easy to apply. That way you can reach your ideal patients at the right place at the right time. Click the link below and I'll send you my guide. It's totally free. I'll bang it over into your inbox. It takes out all the guesswork right away, easy to put into place. Use it and you're gonna start standing out really quickly. Start building your authority in your space with your audience. I'd love for you to have it. Click the link below, download it right away. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video.